Blackburn first, Daly, Gallagher, Flitcroft and Perez all out. Just 4 members of the championship winning squad remain here. Tim Flowers, Tim Sherwood, Jason Wilcox and Chris Sutton. Wilcox made his Premiership debut against Arsenal 6 years ago. Chris Sutton has just 2 goals so far this season. He's back after an ankle injury. Damien Johnson is a 19-year-old Northern Ireland under-21 rising star. Damien Duff is a Republic of Ireland international. Billy McKinley comes back into midfield for his 5th start of the season. He recently put in a transfer request. And to Arsenal, Tony Adams misses his 3rd Premiership game of the season with a back injury. Steve Bowl takes over his position. Martin Keown would have been suspended for this game after being sent off at Sheffield Wednesday, but the FA lifted the ban. Vieira returns and so does his partner Peti. Dennis Bergkamp makes his 100th Arsenal league appearance. He scored 41 league goals so far. Ray Parlour is replaced by Frederick Ljungberg, his 2nd start of the season. But for Blackburn, the shock news, Kevin Davis is dropped to the bench, the record signing. He's had injury and illness this season, but is he worried he's paying the price for lack of goals?
I don't really. I mean, after the game, I don't tend to go home and get a copy of the video and study every chance I've had, really. The clear-cut chances, which you sometimes maybe miss or miskick or drag just wide, you know, they can play in your mind, especially if you've lost the game. It's easier if you've come out winning 2-1 and you've missed 2 or 3 chances. I mean, that's easier to cope with. But if you've lost and you've missed a good chance, then you feel you've let people down. But it's just a matter of really putting it behind you and getting on with a good week's training again and concentrating on the next game, really.
Is it worth getting those videos out from last season when you scored some great goals?
Yeah, I think my mum's tried that with me because we got the Saints video from last season with all the goals on, and she showed that to me a couple of times, trying to remind me, I think. So, yeah. You can try too hard in games sometimes. I think, you know, like the game against Leon, you know, I had 2 or 3 chances. I mean, I could do a clear-cut knocking or something. They were difficult chances. You know, I'm sure I'll get a rebound or a tap-in or something, you know. Maybe it could be the winner in the last minute, and, you know, it'll breed confidence in myself, you know, in the team, and, you know, just a little something, really. But, I mean, you know, if I don't score, I don't go home unhappy for the rest of the week and sulk and things. I mean, it's just a matter of cracking on.
Do you think that's a mistake going to Blackburn, Kevin?
No, no. Any of the Southampton fans, you know, I still get cards from them wishing me to go back there and try and help them out. But other than that, no, not at all. I'm sure I made the right decision, yeah.
Well, they write to you and say, please come back?
Yeah, I've had a few letters, yeah.
Just wondering, Gordon, watching that, if he doesn't score, he doesn't sulk and go home and be unhappy. Should he, perhaps?
Well, in reality, all strikers do. Dennis Bergkamp will say he's not bothered about scoring goals, more his all-round game, and Chris Sutton will say the same. But
they're all lying.
Shearer will tell you they're all lying, because really, strikers just feed on goals, and without goals, they get very depressed.
That's young Kevin Davis, who starts on the bench for Blackburn Rovers today. The good news for Rovers, Chris Sutton is back. No Tony Adams, of course, in the Arsenal side. Roy Hodgson, Arsene Wenger, and 10 points for well, you can see him now. Kenny Dalglish there. Tony Parks there as well, isn't he? Yeah, who was on his staff when he was here. Dalglish, of course, who won the title here with Ray Harford back in 1995. It'd be lovely to eavesdrop on that conversation, wouldn't it? That's fascinating what's going on down there right now. It's Blackburn Rovers and Arsenal, the champions, here at Ewood this afternoon. Also keeping an eye, of course, on Elland Road, where Leeds and Chelsea play. But today, Dennis Bergkamp plays his 100th league game for Arsenal, would you believe? And here's a man who just loves playing football. And not just playing football, as Gordon Taylor was saying, scoring goals as well.
It's difficult to describe. It's just something, that's what you play football for, to score goals. And then, you know, when you can do it yourself, it's great.
NFL on Fox. For the hardest, bone-crunching NFL action, keep watching Fox Sports. With live coverage direct from the US, Fox Sports has more live games than ever before. The NFL season is underway. NFL high flyers New York Jets take on the boys from the South, Atlanta Falcons. NFL on Fox, feel the power. Exclusive, New York Jets in Atlanta, this morning at 7, Fox Sports.
Hit the road in a J4 camper trailer. Hit the road in a pop-top this weekend. We've got the plans for your van at J-Club. The only way to go, 5-star accommodation is not the way to go. We'll give you $1 million with your very own J. Cole. Hit the road in a J. Cole camper trailer. Hit the road in a pop top this weekend. We've got the plans for your van at J. Cole. The only way to go.
He's the Sheik of Tweak. He's taken more test wickets than any other spin bowler. He's Shane Warne. Stick to what you know best. Stick to Fox Sports.
A Super Sunday from Mewood Park. It's Blackburn Rovers against Arsenal. No goals, incidentally, at Elland Road at half-time. Here, let's join our match commentators, Andy Gray and Martin Tyler.
Thanks, Richard. Well, other results have gone well for Arsenal. Only Liverpool of the top 13 won yesterday. But Arsenal without an away win since last April. About to kick off. Blackburn, who played so well over the first half of last season, summed up by that 3-1 win at Highbury. And no one who was at that match would have backed Arsenal for the title, let alone the double, so dominating the Rovers. It's been a very different set of circumstances for Roy Hodgson to deal with so far this season.
Just looking very quickly, tactically, Martin. Jason Wilcox done exactly as I thought he might do. Arsenal have got possession. He's playing in a 5-man midfield. He's just dropped deep. I think that was something I felt they would do, leave Sutton up there on his own. But from there, it's going to be important. And when they shift the ball to Sutton quickly, then support play is vital when you do that.
Despite the amount of rain that has fallen in these parts, the pitch beautifully prepared and in a very, very good condition for the players. But the wind might be something of a problem for them. Bold. Cleared by Jeff Kenner. Chris Sutton's had an ankle problem. It's still not totally solved. Bit of a mystery for the medical staff here. He's keen to help the club at a difficult time. A past target for Arsenal in the transfer market, and also a target for their fans after his part in an incident that cost Arsenal a win against Blackburn at Highbury some 18 months ago. Winterburn. Kent. And as soon as Blackburn do get the ball, Wilcox is the one to get up alongside Sutton. He's got the ball now. Here's Callum Davidson, just broken into the Scotland side. Trying to find Sutton, who found Steve Bold in crafty mood, shall we say.
Yeah, he just dinked a little ball in. Sutton made the run across Bold. Steve Bold just stepped across in front of Sutton. No way he was getting allowed him in there free. We talk about European games. We often look to see how teams respond, Martin, and normally I would, but when you think of how this Arsenal team has been freshened up since Wednesday, 3 of the midfield didn't play then, and when you think of the quality of those 3 that have come in Ljungberg, Vieira and Peti, along with Steve Bold at the back, this is a pretty fresh Arsenal side, so no one can look here, I don't think, and say, well, they're a little bit jaded from Europe. No excuses there in that department for me.
Bergkamp, his 100th game in the Premiership. Peacock, who came here from Newcastle in the central defence alongside the Swiss international Stefan Anelka. Bergkamp. And here is the highly talented Damien Duff. Sutton, Wilcox on a run. Contact on Sutton by Peti, or by Sutton on Peti, says the referee, who's Dermot Gallagher. Over Miles. Johnson on the right of Blackburn Rovers midfield. He's a few months older than Damien Duff. They come from either side of the border in Ireland. Duff from the south, Johnson from the north. He's a Northern Ireland under-21 international.
Well, both players are certainly the future of this club at the moment, aren't they? Been given a chance early on with the amount of injuries that Roy Hodgson's had to cope with.
Well done, Duff rather, is a regular member of Mick McCarthy's Republic of Ireland senior side, let alone squad. Overmars. Damien Johnson came back well because Jeff Kenner had really committed himself, and Overmars had got the ball behind the right back.
It's a good example of what you have to do when you play a format. That's part of your job as your right-sided player in front of your full-backs, to protect them like that. My goodness, Kenner needed that protection there.
Well, a spate of injuries for Blackburn, the unwanted loss of Colin Hendry, another transfer speculation, another early exit from Europe, which incurred a UEFA fine. It's been one problem after another. Roy Hodgson has even had to refute suggestions over the past few days that he's about to jump ship. Speculation that Inter from Italy might be tempting him back. Dixon, shall we say, had a challenging match in the Champions League at Wembley on Wednesday. Arsenal found Dynamo Kiev very talented opponents. Strange mix of emotions at the end. They would have been happy with the draw, except when you're 1-0 up with just a few seconds to go. Even though that's a lucky situation, you still expect to win. And Arsene Wenger even disputed the nature of the equaliser with some justification. Maybe we should be suggesting to you to stick with this game right to the very last minute, because all sorts of things have been befalling Arsenal in the final moments of their matches. In fact, their only away goal this season came late on at Leicester. And a player not in the starting side today, Stephen Hughes. He is one of the substitutes. It's going to be cold on the sidelines. Davidson, fellow Scott McKinley, the versatile Wilcox. Sherwood, who's still here despite all the speculation that he might be bound for a return to London. He was linked with Arsenal a while back, but it's Tottenham who've made the bid this season for the services of the current Blackburn skipper.
The pattern of this game seems set already, Martin, even early on. I think Blackburn are going to be quite happy to allow the back four of Arsenal as much time as they want on the ball. They won't want to get done over the top the way they did last year. Roy Hodgson's got a good memory, and Anelka punished him on more than one occasion, not just with his goal, but with his pace in general. So I think they've opted to just drop deep, allow them to have it in these positions. When you look at that now, is Peti's at just 10 yards in his own half. Every other Blackburn player, apart from Chris Sutton, is back behind the ball in his own half. It's as if they're saying, go on then, we'll allow you to have it back there, but when you come forward into the last third, well, we'll be tight, we'll have plenty of bodies there. But it's the other part that we've got to work hard at. That's making it work at the other end.
Davidson, Sherwood. Dixon, who did find time on Wednesday night to produce one of the crosses of the season. Led to the Arsenal goal, Bergkamp's header. Peti, who strained a hamstring playing for France recently in Russia. Anelka scored a great goal, his first international goal in that game. Here he's judged offside. Kenner. Martin Keown, who is eligible for this game because the suspension after his sending off at Sheffield Wednesday was quashed. by the authorities, although the red card stays on the statute books, and if he was to get another red card this season, that would count as a second. It would be an extra ban under the current rules. So much asked of Overmars.
And that's what the system Roy Hodgson set out is going to make them do. They really have got very, very tight. Blackburn are looking for numbers, and you know, you look at all the shots there, Mark, between Vieira and the pass, plenty of them, and Billy McKinley, as I thought, would be the man. He's the one who's just dropping that little bit deeper into, trying to get in Bergkamp's area if he can, and the other four dropping into midfield. So it's going to be fascinating to see which system works this afternoon.
Side that changes too much, Arsenal.
No, why should they? I mean, I'm a great believer, I think, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And there ain't an awful lot wrong with this Arsenal side. As you say, they might not have won as many as they like, but that's still the defeats. Not many of those won, I think, as you mentioned, Sheffield Wednesday, the only defeat they've suffered this season. So there ain't a lot wrong. They are champions, they are confident.
And they have beaten Manchester United twice, 3-0.
Again, it's looking at, they're trying to force him across Martin all the time.
It's Bergkamp's pass, and good defending by Darren Peacock against Nicholas Anelka.
Needed to be. But if this ball's played a little bit further, a little bit straighter ahead of Anelka, then you fancy him to win the race. Well, that's the first real threat, even with all the possession that Arsenal have had, and it's even early on, the opening 10 minutes, they must have had this ball for about 7 of those 10 minutes. They really have dominated it, but a lot of it's been where they have it now, in their own half, deep. Blackburn are back, set, and saying, go on then, are you good enough to pick your way through?
Well, they might be. There's Bergkamp. Peti. And Overmars. There's another warning for Blackburn, who've adopted almost the manner of an away team in front of their home fans here so far at Ewood Park today.
The only advantage they had here, Martin, is because they're so deep, that ball bounces in the 16-yard line area, and therefore the next step is through to the goalkeeper. Now, had they held a line way up the pitch and that happens, then Overmars is going to get through on the ball. In many ways, that's the advantage of dropping deep, is if it skips on like that, the keeper's likely to get it. Well, dominating certainly possession in this match so far.
Sutton, and Tim Sherwood has caught Arsenal square here, trying to find Duff, and Dixon tucking in, looking angrily towards the assistant on the far side.
Well, he's the guilty one, I think, here. I mean, it's very tight. That might have well have been offside. But Mark Keown jumped out and then went back again. Lee Dixon was the deepest of the defenders. It was a pretty close call from the linesman.
So Blackburn have a corner. David Seaman's fist. That's Peacock. That's Sherwood. Arsenal looking a little jittery. Winterburn with a wonderful ball from left to right that deserved better control from Bergkamp.
That was a great ball, but having dominated possession in territorial, this isn't a great punch from the England goalkeeper. It's down. It should be height and distance. He knocked it straight down. And look at Nigel Winterburn. He stays on the post. I think David Seaman might have gotten that, but that's a good example of putting men on the post.
Davidson. Peti. Surprise, I think, for the Arsenal fans to see Manu Peti playing today, but he's obviously typifying Arsenal's attitude, wanting to get straight back in the team. He's only had a couple of days training after stepping off the treatment table following that injury on international duty. Joe. Johnson. It's come back fortunately to him. Bennett Gallagher Letting Blackburn play on, they kept the ball.
Peti. Great vision from Tim Sherwood, the skipper. So you talk about getting a picture in the game and knowing where people are before the ball arrives at you. As Johnson's going across field, and now look at Ken at the top of the picture. And because Sherwood's looking at it, he sees the picture, he knows what he's going to do. It's just a pity Jeff Kenna can't give Sutton the type of service he wanted. Great vision.
Overmars able to make contact with the ball, but not directed Arsenal's way. Keogh. Bergkamp and Anelka well forward, but it goes into the young Swede, Ljungberg. Vieira. Come out by Ancho.
Lock the line! Good boy!
Bergkamp from Vieira's pass. Overmars. Blackburn with plenty of numbers back. That's given away rather weakly again by Overmars. The problem for Blackburn in these situations is how quickly can they get forward with numbers of their own. And Arsenal now have regrouped. McKinley. Alan Davison, who was scouted by a lot of clubs south of the border when he was catching the eye with St Johnstone. Martin Keown coming out on top against Jason Wilcox.
But Wilcox did his job. Martin Keown would rather that ball had run out for a goal kick. Wilcox was adamant it was going to be a throw-in, and that's what's happened. Now they've won possession back in the attacking third.
Bergkamp. Leaning into that. Use of the upper arm. Patrick Vieira. Blackburn getting on with the game quickly.
They've just given one or two signs, the home side. Blackburn as if they're settling into it, warming to it. I think they looked a little bit nervy, maybe a little bit in all of the champions, but the last 5-10 minutes, well, certainly 5 minutes when they've had a couple of attacks themselves and near things, just seems to have lifted them a little bit.
And their work is lifting the crowd now. Good passing again from Blackburn, but it's hard to find space against Arsenal's defending. Lovely work from Duff. Sutton going to the far post, but not where the ball landed. Blackburn getting more of the ball.
Well, you can see that, that's ridiculous, isn't it? But that's a measure of the last, what, 7.5 minutes of this match. The one thing it's been lacking, and surprisingly for me, has been the quality from width and the wide areas from Blackburn. They're normally with Sutton in the side and Gallagher and people like that, they normally work on delivering better. And that is
Sutton to Sherwood. Comes out to Damien Johnson. Sutton.
Touch high. A touch too far out because of that. This is chest high, you know, Mark, he's taking it down and hitting it. But it's a lovely link-up. Sherwood looks to provide that run from midfield. This cross back end, if it's a foot lower, you know, he takes it on his chest because he's got space. But you could see from that, it was a little bit too high for him to get up and get the power and direction all at the same time.
Sutton getting there bravely. Duff. Maybe it's remarkable what has happened at youth football level in the Republic of Ireland. Damien Duff has been very much involved in that, where the under-16 European champions and under-18 champions were bronze medalists in the world under-20 champions the previous year. It's Wonderful for a small country, and the production line helping Premiership clubs. Peti. Well, he ends up on the ground, and Arsenal end up getting a free kick. Dixon. Bold venturing on. Pass by Vieira. And Anelka's movement not matched by his control. But Arsenal can do that, as Steve Bowles showed then. As Blackburn drop off and congest the midfield, well, there are defenders who haven't got any main duties, anyone to mark, like Steve Bowles found himself then. Try and seize the initiative and give the home side more of a problem. Really a testing 10 days ahead for Arsenal. This is the first of 4 successive away games. McKinley. And Jeff Kennett finding himself the spare man again. Overmars not really tracking him, although Kennett actually presents the ball to a rather relieved Mark Overmars. It's not his nature really to chase back towards his own goal. And of course he does have other significant values to Arsene Wenger. Ljungberg. Bergkamp furthest forward for the Gunners at the moment. Overmars, Winterburn to the left. Ljungberg trying to dart in behind Anelka. He had done, but the ball just under hit. Sherwood.
Good starting positions again, the back four, Mark, not leaving much space behind them. Therefore, the ball's got to be so accurate to pick out a run like that.
Eager work from Damien Johnson, the least experienced member of this Blackburn side. Davison has played almost as many internationals as Premiership games. He's still learning his trade. And you can say the same about Anelka. He has achieved so much more. Come out by Anelka. Here dashing at the ball. Vieira. Peti. Anelka, well, by this stage, when Arsenal were last here, the points were already in the bag.
I think Roy Hodgson might have logged that away as well, Mark. Let's not be out this game before it started. They were this time last year, you're right.
Winterburn. Bergkamp quite getting the radar right. Bergkamp has got those couple of goals against Newcastle. He scored at Wembley in midweek, but he hasn't really matched the season given that sort of big performance that got him so many awards at this stage last season. Followed by Peacock. Travelling support for Arsenal. The difficulties of coming north. A weekend of such dreadful weather. Tim Flowers would love to catch the eye in a day when he's in comparison comparison with David Seaman.
I think he'd quite like nothing to do.
Well,
I wouldn't bonus in his pocket. But I know what you mean.
I was halfway through the sentence and I could hear your comment coming. He'd be surprised to get it as easy as that, I guess. David Seaman is 35 now, so I suppose the England job might be coming up for grabs in the medium-term future. Tim Flowers with 11 caps already. Good pressure by Vieira on McKinley, and Anelka goes for goal and finds it! Well, suddenly, in a match that's begun pretty quietly, an explosion from Arsenal and Nicholas Anelka.
I'll tell you, full marks for the pressure. They try to play a little ball into Billy McKinley in the midfield area. I always think that's a dangerous one. And how often have we seen Vieira do that, Martin? Go and pressure someone immediately. Didn't allow McKinley to get his foot on the ball. I thought he's got options here, Anelka. And that wasn't the one I thought he'd take. He's got Vieira going outside him. He had Bergkamp the other side. But such is the confidence of this lad. He hit it. The fortunate thing, he cuts across the ball. And that little swerve took it past the goalkeeper.
Well, he's been mentioned in a critical comparison with Ian Wright about maybe not being a bread-and-butter goal scorer, and there was nothing bread and butter about that. That was a gourmet goal. And he's now scored in 3 Premiership games in a row.
A great strike as well, just skipped off the surface. We talked about the rain, it's fallen for the last few days, and it just picked up pace and swerved away from the left hand of Tim Flowers.
So another spot of bother for Blackburn Rovers, who would have been pleased up to that point with the way they tactically approached this game. But maybe they were getting a bit overconfident, and the ball lost in the wrong part of the pitch.
I just think it's a dangerous ball to play. I think it was Jeff Kenner that played it in there, Martin. You're asking for trouble. I mean, it's a ball that's got nothing for the guy receiving it except trouble.
At the start of the season, Nicholas Anelka was 25-1 to finish top scorer in the Premiership. I'm not a betting man, but that looked reasonable odds for a player who's only going to get better and better. And here's Overmars. Peacock's header away, and it's flown straight to Damien Duff, who looks for some support infield and on the wide position from Davidson, who's made up the ground. Here he is. Lee Dixon saw that coming, attempt at the return pass. Wilcox. Kenner. Referee just looked to see whether there was going to be any advantage for Blackburn. And then, as he's entitled to do, having thought that there wasn't, he's called for the free kick. It's a fair way out, but not out of range for the direct shot, although Blackburn not showing any great desire for going directly for goal. Davidson, who scored a wonderful goal here recently against West Ham. That's a corner.
Mr. Brush Nigel Winterburn, he doesn't think so. He was the only man who went up. Will Johnson. He said.
Well, he, of course, was the player who was penalised for that late free kick that Dynamo Kiev managed to turn into an equaliser. Is there going to be an equaliser here for Blackburn? Seeing them with a better punch this time. McKinley, Arsenal trying to push out. Stabbed away by Bold. Dixon. Arsenal have won here the last 2 seasons. And they lead now by an admirable Anelka goal to 0. And the show well positioned again. bowled. Blackburn, here's Peti.
Come on!
Ljungberg. Rises through the centre. Anelka was looking for Bergkamp. And Davison wasn't, but it struck the Dutchman. Davison, who gave up a degree course at Edinburgh University in civil engineering to throw his full weight behind a full-time football career. Johnson. Peacock. On show. With everyone behind the ball. It's easily cut out by Keown. Ljungberg nicely played into the feet of Bergkamp. On for Anelka. Well, there was some space to run into there, but the pass was overhit, and in these conditions, it's always going to run away. It's not so wet that the ball's going to hold up.
Surprised though, Mark. I thought when he got the time and he had the space, Bergkamp, I thought he'd have put a little bit more angle on the ball. Wasn't a difficult one, not for him. But they got away with it. Blackburn, that was the first time really they'd been caught that high up.
Well, the temptation for Blackburn, of course, is to rethink straight away. But if they do press on in the search for an equaliser, they could get picked off by the pace in particular that Arsenal have.
I don't think they've done an awful lot wrong. Again, Roy Hodgson will feel his side have been punished for one error. It was a mistake, I felt, but to be fair, Vieira didn't have to make it a mistake. The way he drove at McKinley and put him under pressure.
Over Miles. Miscalculation by Ljungberg. Having to play on the retreat, such as the Arsenal pressure. Jason Wilcox, one of those who remembers the time when Blackburn Rovers were defending champions. Sherwood and Sutton and Flowers from those days. Kenny Dalglish, who was the manager, is here today. Keown. A little clip on Anelka by Onshow.
Yeah, he just looks to take this and turn Onshow. Not a lot in it, but it's definitely a free kick. This is a fair way out as well, but I always think these are worth hitting in conditions like today, Mark, when the ball's very greasy. Especially if you can get it up and bouncing before the goalkeeper and wide of him, it can really cause problems. But anything on target will give the keeper a problem today.
And the rain coming down again. Everyone else trying to do what I think has become the John Collins free kick.
Yeah.
Well, it's Worthington Cup week coming up, and as always, a good supply here on Sky Sports. Sky Sports 2, Liverpool against Kevin Keegan and Fulham. That's on Tuesday at 7:30. Sky Sports 2 again on Wednesday. Chelsea against Aston Villa with the extra spice. The two sides meet again on Saturday in the FA Carling Premiership. Dixon. What Patrick Vieira's first thoughts were there when he made that run on the outside of Anelka, expecting perhaps or hoping to get the ball back. Give it, oh, great goal.
Yeah, exactly. Don't shoot. Oh, well done.
was off Ljungberg, and there's something for Anelka to chase, and he's trying to worry the life out of Honcho here, but he didn't panic. Stefan Honcho.
What about these conditions, I tell you?
Well, you can hear the wind, and I suppose that's the best thing we can say about it. There's enough wind to blow these squalls over. Hopefully it won't last too long, but dreadfully difficult for the players and for the spectators.
It's full marks, I think, for the quality that we've seen. I think they've passed the ball in general, the players, very, very well indeed in these sort of conditions. Control is at a premium. That's the thing that's the most difficult of all. When it arrives at you, you've got to kill it quickly, otherwise it just skips away from you.
Peti trying to link up with Overmars. We've seen that so often since the two have been joined together as members of the Arsenal playing staff. Dixon. Especially difficult, you feel, for goalkeepers.
That's why it's worth hitting anything. You know, I'd be amazed if both managers haven't said, or coaches didn't say to players, if you get a chance today, hit it. I mean, hit the target, make the goalkeeper work and follow it in.
10 minutes to go to half-time. Some of the longer-serving Arsenal players will tell you about complacency after the championship was won in 1989, and indeed after the 1991 success, and they're well aware that they have those examples to go at to make sure it doesn't happen for a third time in a row, and they would love to defend the title successfully.
To be fair to the players, that so far, Martin, I've seen them a few times this season, and I haven't seen anything like complacency in any other performances. They may not have always got the results they wanted. They look as if they're up for defending their title. Today is so far another example. I think we're seeing of that determination.
Peti just dropping off a yard or two to help out Winterburn. Dixon. Bergkamp, Ljungberg getting the better of Peacock. Just behind Lee Dixon. He tried to put the brakes on but couldn't do it quickly enough on the skiddy top. It's a measured pass by Honcho for Duff, and Blackburn have got a lot more players forward in this attack. And that's why there are so many groans of disappointment that there wasn't a decent cross from Wilcox.
Well, that wasn't a great cross, but his strike was certainly one of quality. And again, it's fed in by Jeff Kenner. That's not a great ball to feed into midfield, and look at the pressure. Now take your choice, Bergkamp or Vieira. No thanks, I'll have it myself. Great strike. You can bet your life, though, had it not found the back of the net, that both of them would have been in the right quarter.
Winterburn's ball slides off Peacock's head. Flowers can do nothing about it, and Arsenal have a corner. Martin Keown scored in the Champions League at Wembley recently. Steve Bold going to the back post. The corner that nowhere near gets the ball into that sort of region. Put back in well by Dixon.
That's got to be a free kick. And that's crazy to me. I mean, Honcho should know better. Sometimes as a defender you can't win the ball. But you can see how Ljungberg's in control of the situation. He's looking to bring it down his chest. You have to just stand behind him, make sure he doesn't go anywhere. What has he done? Free kick away in a really dangerous position. I remember they played for this against Chelsea. I think it was Christian Daly did the same at the other end for Zola's opening goal. Punished him badly for that mistake.
And now Tim Flowers has to wonder whether it's going to be a left footer or whether Bergkamp's going to be involved.
Well, they've got to hit it. Surely need a strike on goal, whether it's shifted or not.
It's Peti. Blackburn 0, Arsenal 2.
Well, they don't like the London clubs giving them free kicks there. Zola punished them, and now Peti's done the same. Different free kick. Zola's with skill and craft. Peti's was about power and a slight deflection. The wall doesn't do great. They break the wall quickly, look to charge it. But when you do that and fragment it a bit, well, it's given the goalkeeper absolutely no chance. Tim Flowers can do nothing. He probably makes a comfortable save, you know, without the deflection. And now it's a comfortable lead for the champions.
Well, the player who has made a quicker than anticipated recovery from injury. And Arsenal, who had so many awkward tactical moments, not difficult defensive situations, but they were given a problem by the way Blackburn started this game. For the moment, those problems are behind them, and it's turning out to be another good first half at Ewood Park for the Gunners. Kenner. Wilcox. Back by Johnson. So what will Blackburn's policy be now? Whether another player will be pushed right up alongside Sutton, we shall see. Kevin Davis, of course, is on the bench. Knows Sutton very much on his own.
I think he's got to change it, definitely, even this early in the game. Maybe not now, but certainly by half-time. I would be very, very surprised, if not by personnel, then he doesn't change it tactically and have someone up with Sutton. They've got to do something to get the ball forward a little bit quicker and give Sutton a little bit more support. They need a goal. He knows that, Roy, more than ever now in a match. And one thing he won't want to do is concede a third. Then there would be no way back, you would fear.
This is Anelka. And Peti, the two goal scorers for Arsenal. Vieira. And Berg trying to force his way between the two. Duff and Davidson. And enforcing his way. He gave away a free kick. And he was angry about being penalised the first time. Just a loss of composure here. He's been a bit fiery in his past, so the Swedish observers will tell you.
Well, the other thing you can say is they know the rules. If you go to the ground from behind, he's frustrated because he felt it was a free kick against him. I have to say I agreed with him. Thought he got buffeted from pillar to post by Duff and Davison.
McKinley. This is Wilcox. Wilcox. Duff. The officials both agreed and got it right. The ball was tackled into Damien Duff and out for an Arsenal throw.
Hey! Hey! Go!
Peacock. Taking right infield and in the right position, and Anelka can't to hold it up this time.
It's a good battle, like Keown and Sutton, you know. Sutton and Ball, I tell you, it's one to watch. All three players are fiercely committed and determined. It's been some good clashes.
intercepted by Dixon. Gives Bergkamp a chance of getting there. Prefect's got to be careful with the type of challenge. Just leaning into Dennis Bergkamp. Remember that Arsenal with only one away goal in the Premiership prior to today. A significant improvement in their productivity on their travels. A bit of overconfidence there by Peti. McKinley. Just to remind you of Arsenal's away results: 0-0 at Liverpool, 0-0 at Chelsea, 1-1 at Leicester, and then that last-minute goal that they conceded, another last-minute goal at Hillsborough to Lee Briscoe and Sheffield Wednesday. Sherwood. Well, after an unpromising start, it's a very satisfying half-time situation for Arsenal. Blackburn with a policy that was to defend and not give anything away early, but then they did give the ball away to Patrick Vieira, and Anelka rounded it off with a splendid shot, and then the deflected strike by Manu Peti. And Blackburn in the toils again. They are trailing at half-time at Ewood Park to Arsenal by 2-0.
Super Sunday here this afternoon. It's Blackburn Rovers and Arsenal. Rovers trailing by 2-0. I understand, Gordon Taylor and I were speculating, that Kevin Davis is about to be introduced. There, in fact, is the evidence of that. He waits on the touchline, and he's been seen, Gordon, hasn't he? So there's Blackburn's response. Let's shake it up a bit. OK, let's join our match commentators, Andy Gray and Martin Tyler.
Thanks, Richard. Yes, it is Kevin Davis, the genuine striker for Jason Wilcox, who's tried to get forward from midfield to support Chris Sutton, but hasn't had much joy. And the predictable response, really, from Roy Hodgson.
Yeah, I think so, Martin. At 2-0 down at home, you picked the system really to contain, I felt, first half, and hope to pinch a goal. It didn't work. You're 2-0 down. Full marks to the manager. He's made the change earlier rather than later. Gives him 45 minutes.
Well, one consolation for Blackburn with this disappointing start to the season, that things are very, very congested in the FA Carling Premiership. When you think that Liverpool won their first game in 6 yesterday and went to 3rd place, and Arsenal have the incentive of taking 3rd place from them if they carry on and win here. Halfway, and in a fine position with Manu Peti's 2nd goal. Arsenal will hope taking some wind out of Blackburn's sails. Davis getting involved straight away. He's missed a lot of football in 1998. After finishing 1997, rightly applauded as one of the brightest young talents in the Premier League. And this massive transfer, remember Southampton paid about a tenth to Chesterfield of the fee that Blackburn paid to Southampton. And since then he's had injuries, he's been ill. Just really needs a settled run of football now to try and recapture what he showed so graphically on occasion in front of our cameras too last season. Kevin Davis, here he is, beaten though by Bold. Davidson. Sutton letting it run, maybe on a call from Davis, making Martin Keown scurry. But it's the old conundrum, Blackburn chasing the game as they have to do, 2-0 down, and Arsenal perfectly equipped to pick them off on the break if the service is right. Particularly with the speed of Anelka and Overmars. Johnson. Kenner. Looking for Sutton. Peti was in the way. Kenner tries again, finds Johnson this time. Sherwood. Saying chase that to the youngster.
Wasn't a bad ball, not a bad thing. Early on, getting them turned, getting Arsenal going back towards their own goal. Try and build a little bit of pressure and then hopefully get a break. And as we mentioned before, conditions are awful today. Difficult for defenders more than anybody. And I think Blackburn know if they put enough ball in there, they might just get a little bit of break.
Out by Peti. We've seen some terrific topsy-turvy contests at Ewood Park. Most recently, that Monday night match against Chelsea, there was a 4-3 here that they lost against Leeds last season. Davis. Better from Blackburn.
A little bit early in the game probably for them. Martin, only 3 minutes into it, but the build-up was excellent. That's front two working together. Good calling from Sutton in return. He knew exactly where Davis was going to go. It's a poor finish in all honesty, but I think he hit it a little bit earlier than he wanted to. Needed to let it drop, but that was better teamwork. That's the kind of support Sutton didn't have first half. But they ain't bad, this Arsenal side, Martin. It's soaking up pressure and breaking. When you think of the pace of Overmars and Anelka.
Overmars hustled by Johnson, but Arsenal keeping possession. Gold. Steve Gold, who stepped in so well at Anfield at the start of the season and at Leicester as well when Adams missed matches. Just nudged forward to Anelka by Overmars, and the flag eventually went up.
Well, the ball takes a big deflection, and when it's passed, just touched by Overmars there. Is he offside? No, he's not. It's deflected into his path. He's been allowed to go.
Blackburn slipping. McKinley losing out. Here come Arsenal with Overmars. And that's the way it's been really for Dennis Bergkamp for most of the season so far. Whether he changed his mind.
Not a great ball, Martin, in my opinion. I think he just gave him a little bit much to do. He's played with a little bit too much pace. It's a little bit wide. He wanted to hit it first time, you could see that, but he was stretching to reach it. I'm not quite sure he appreciated that from his countrymen. But that's what's lined up for the second half now, breaking like that. But in all honesty, Blackburn have got to accept that. They've got to believe that they've got to pinch one themselves. Well, that's another one. It's doubtful. He's obviously given Sutton offside. I don't think Davis is questioning it, but he could only have given Sutton offside in his opinion. You know, he might be right as well. He might just been fractionally off. It's close.
Vieira. Dixon. Blackburn so short of senior players today that they've got Christian Daly on the bench, although he hasn't been able to train much since he had his tonsils out. And Roy Hodgson said to me before the game, I might be able to give him 20 minutes, but no more than that, really. Well, he's made one change at half-time, and certainly that's added a bit more definition to Blackburn's attacking play.
He was a little bit quieter than the last time we saw him live on Sky, isn't he?
Yes, he's usually such a cool character. But he feels it's his worst injury crisis in more than 20 years of management. Go to Wimbledon next weekend, Blackburn, and then they entertain Coventry City, who are in a similar dilemma to themselves. Next league match here at Ewood Park is Ljungberg. Oh, and it's opened up. He didn't find the shot that he would have wanted, with the defenders backing off him, maybe expecting a pass rather than the player to move on and go for goal. He accepted the invitation to shoot, but it didn't get very far.
No, that was a great chance to test Tim Flowers yet again, Martin. Wonderful opportunity for Ljungberg.
Sutton. Well, he gets a deflected shot away. And, well, Seaman had difficulties with the first strike, and then he wasn't tested with the follow-up.
This is a great save. Absolutely top drawer. Look at the way he's got to change feet. That's a magnificent piece of goalkeeping. And he needed a bit of help from his defender. Is it Martin Keown comes in with Davis? Not sure, but as he comes in, well, Keown made life difficult for Kevin Davis. The angle wasn't great, but when you're flying and you're top of the league, you're really playing well, you just nick them in. That's the way it's been for Roy Hodgson's side at the moment. And that's lifted them a bit, lifted the fans. It'll give the players a lift.
Overmars.
But prepare yourself for a less than sterile second half. I think this game's going to flow.
Good reach by Bold. Chris Sutton got the space for himself by just dropping off the play, and he had space to go on and let fly in a way that Ljungberg should have done seconds earlier at the other end. On shot. Davis chasing a little flick from Sutton.
Yeah, goal kick. Right decision.
By Dermot Gallagher. And you can hear from Dermot on the Footballers Football Show on Sky Sports on Tuesday.
They're on more than you and me now, then.
Burn. Another shovel clearance by Seaman. Height and distance. Vieira. And ball by Billy McKinley.
Well, it's been a more upbeat, up-tempo performance from Blackburn second half attacking-wise. Kevin Davies already's had 2 half chances. And David Seaman's had to make, well, a pretty good save to keep the score at 2-0.
Anelka to accelerate onto. Peacock was very vigilant. He caught the ball well and just clipped Anelka in passing. Might not be the worst thing from a Blackburn point of view. Keogh. Arsenal's last 3 away wins in the Premiership: Bolton, Blackburn and Barnsley. There's anything in the bees, but they lead Blackburn by 2-0 here, but Blackburn making a better fist of it in the second half. And that was Sherwood and Vieira. It wasn't a challenge for the faint-hearted. Both players are hurt.
Well, that was a punching tackle. Both went for it, both are really committed. Neither of those were pulling out here. Sutton's just been booked, I think, Martin. I think it was maybe for the tackle against Bold just moments later when the free kick was given. Yeah, that was a crunching tackle.
Yes, I must say, I was looking just to see what damage there was for Patrick Vieira and Tim Sherwood. Sherwood got onto his feet, but then had to drop to the ground again as he rather hopped away from it.
Well, we saw that challenge all right, but Sutton was booked for the challenge moments later as the ball broke away there, and Steve Bold, he jumps in, and that's why he's booked. No doubt about that. 2-footed, Jumping in from the back. That's a booking. The stretcher's on for Tim Sherwood.
Well, he actually, as he got to his feet, he just waved in an agitated fashion to the bench. Vieira is getting treatment off the pitch.
Well, you can bet that, sorry man, you can bet that Arsene Wenger's problems are less. I mean, Vieira, if injured, if there's a doubt, he's got plenty cover on the bench, particularly with Stephen Hughes, and he won't want to rest. That little sign there suggests that everything is okay with Patrick Vieira, but he could easily bring Stephen Hughes. Doesn't look so good for Blackburn, the skipper. You see the gash in his shin there, left shin, caught in the follow through. And we'll wait and see whether he returns or not.
Mount for Blackburn. Showed off a great concern for him down there. Chris Sutton's booking means that he is going to miss a game. A suspension that starts 2 weeks from today. It's his 5th caution of the season. Gone up. I said 20 minutes for Christian Daly. I wonder whether Hodgson might think they can just extend that a little bit in these circumstances.
He's the one who's out warming up, the only one. So that's all the obvious replacement. Should news come from the dressing room, I'm sure there might be 1 or 2 stitches involved in Tim Sherwood's shin. Quick assessment from the doc as to whether he can carry on.
It's a marvellous ball by Peti. Now what's Overmars going to do here? Wasn't a decisive contact with the ball. And Blackburn breathe again.
Well, he hasn't had his best day, Mark Overmars, for me, Mark. And that typified it there. That was a great ball from Peti, and he really should have done better. Bergkamp steaming in near post. It was a comfortable ball we fed across to him.
And some lovely work there from Chris Sutton, who's dropped back, a versatile performer, of course. Hopes that an apparent problem with Glenn Hoddle can be sorted out, that if Sutton does a good run of form, that there will be no barrier to future elevation to representative football. He's a very independent thinker, Chris Sutton, son of a former professional. His father, Mike, like Chris, played at Norwich City. Peacock. It's a fine ball to Davis. There's no one in the centre at the moment for Blackburn, although Damien Duff is getting there and others can come forward now.
And that's why he had to delay the cross, because he had come wide with Sutton, dropped into midfield with Sherwood off. They had absolutely no one that he could cross to. Full marks him, one in the corner. It's given his team a chance.
Blackburn still down to 10 men. Half an hour to go. They're 2-0 down. It's a skillful manipulation of the ball by Sutton once more. Fine header by Keogh. It's controlled by McKinley. Bergkamp trying to fasten onto the ball and put it into the space that he hoped Anelka could fill, but there was no chance of catching that one.
Well, I don't know if it's good news it's filtering through from the Blackburn changing room. I noticed Christian Daly just putting his bottoms back on, having warmed up.
Also to remind you of highlights of the other Premiership game today, Leeds against Chelsea, which will bring you after the business is concluded here at Ewood Park. Sportingly put out by McKenna, so that Arsenal can attend to Martin Keown. Meanwhile, as Arsenal have to deal with an injury difficulty, that's a great sight for Blackburn. Tim Sherwood returning. Pulled up there, Martin Keown, after winning that header so emphatically. Worthington Cup football for you on Sky Sports. This week, Liverpool against Fulham. That's Tuesday, live, Sky Sports 2, 7:30. And Chelsea against Aston Villa, and a foretaste of the Premiership battle to come next Saturday, Wednesday on Sky Sports 2. Has to try to get Keown back on. Manage that now. Here's Ljungberg. Vieira. Peti. He'd settled into the back line temporarily. Alongside Bold. Great work by Johnson. McKinley to Davidson. Blackburn searching for a goal that would, at the very least, rattle Arsenal's composure. Keown has to play safe. It's a good turn by Duff, awkward for Peti. A terrific goal for Damien Johnson. Wonderful reactions, flung himself at the header, opportunist, and just what Blackburn needed.
Well, much like Les Ferdinand, Peti's done not a lot wrong in clearing this. We saw him do it at Leicester. And as it produced a stunning hit volley, that's a fantastic header. Reactions, top class, power, accuracy. Once again, a goalkeeper has absolutely no chance. Great play from Duff, wonderful header from Johnson.
His first senior goal, a timely one. Blackburn are back in it. Well, Roy Hodgson has had to dig deep into his first team squad in these circumstances this season. And the youngsters, by and large, remember the youth team last season reached the final of the FA Youth Cup. They lost to Everton. There's a good production line at this club, and the manager grateful for it at the moment.
He did have a lot to aim at the young lad, I'd say. It was a stunning header.
And he'll be able to, in years to come, tell his grandchildren he got off the mark against the England goalkeeper.
Well, I thought this might be a pretty interesting second half. That goal certainly sets up the last 25 minutes.
Said by a man who predicted a 2-1 win for Arsenal before the game began.
Oh, but I hope I'm wrong. I'd like to see a few more, but that's a great ball. That's a great clearance. You know, he thinks he's done everything right, and that's a brilliant header.
Arsenal haven't come here full of special belief in their ability to win away matches without a victory on their travels this season, and any feeling of comfort that they might have had at half-time in the early minutes of the second half has evaporated. 19-year-old Damien Johnson. McKinley. Kenna. Johnson. Vieira gets there.
That was a nasty tackle.
Tim Sherwood left his
nasty tackle, Martin. That was nasty from Tim Sherwood. I don't care what anyone says. That's off for me. That's nasty. That was no intention. I noticed it was the two players that got involved in that tackle, whereas Vieira was still focused on the ball. I'm afraid Tim Sherwood wasn't. He's lucky still to be on, in my opinion. That was an awful tackle.
The Arsenal players letting Tim Sherwood know what they thought about it. Well, there can't be any excuse for that, despite what Sherwood's been through himself over the last few minutes.
Well, if you don't fancy it, don't go in for it. You know, that's it. You could see Vieira had gone low, had gone for the ball. That was all he was intent on playing.
Not a similar episode at all, but Dermot Gallagher had a one-match suspension for not sending off Steve Bold when Arsenal played Chelsea in a live match last season. And Bold was perceived by most, except the referee, as the last defender. Steve Bold's had plenty to say about it. The dialogue goes on as Vieira is carried off. I can only hope that he can come back as quickly as Sherwood did. Peti. So it's Arsene Wenger's conundrum now as to what's best to do in this circumstance. He's got Stephen Hughes, of course. He's had plenty of first-team football recently. Bold barrelling in. And on goes Anelka. Tim Flowers, I think, fancied that the angle would be too awkward. He started to come off his line and then set himself for a shot that was way off target in the end.
Great ball again, a ball to admire from Peti, because it was never carrying through at the goalkeeper. It was there to be hit on the half volley from Anelka. Not the best strike he's ever hit. It was that knee joint that's going to give the problems. You get a whack on the knee, and I had many of them in my life. I know about them. You don't get it moving again, they do stiffen up and can be very painful. If he gets it going, he'd probably get away with the match, as long as there's no ligament damage. And obviously it was a bang on the knee.
They had a doctor down checking it, as well as the physio. Sutton. And Arsenal, with this recent history of losing vital goals late in matches, they'd be livid if they were all hit the finishing line again. Vieira waved on. Gallagher. Dixon. And he's immediately moved into the same part of the pitch as Sherwood, as you would expect, where the game is shaped up. Minutes to go. Arsenal with a chance to be third in the league table after this game, but they need to win it. It looked pretty likely at half-time, maybe not necessarily so now. Blackburn given a head of steam by a goal from a surprising quarter, you might think.
Well, it's a contest in every way now.
Sutton very cleverly pulled away from Keown. Duff. Sutton in the centre. Davis there as well. Davison, who scored with his right foot against West Ham from that sort of angle at the other end of the ground.
It was clever play, Mark. They drew Youngberg and Dixon and then fed it back.
Sherwood. it was Sutton, I beg your pardon, who came in behind Steve Bold.
Well, again, it's a decent ball in. It's been a good supply line second half, that left-hand side. Fancied Bold to win the header or compete. But such was the quality of the cross. It's deep, and he gets a run at it, Sutton. Just can't get over it and get it down. I think the message is clear at the moment. If you're Blackburn, it's get the ball wide and get it left in particular. And certainly Duff looks up for it.
Bold had a problem then because there wasn't that much pace on the ball to use to guide it back to the goalkeeper. He had to flex the neck muscles. Osho. McKinley looking left. Put out by Dixon. Bergkamp. Here's Ljungberg. Peti. Bergkamp. Anelka. Overmars both had the chance to run at Blackburn then. They might get another chance here. Here's Peti. Good sorting out done there by McKinley. Long from Johnson. Keown wrestling with Sutton to try and get in front. He must have seen that as 6 of one and half a dozen of the other. Vieira. Beautifully slipping McKinley. Great play by Patrick Vieira. Trying to slide it through for Anelka. Good response this by Arsenal to losing a goal. But now Blackburn try to hit them on the break. A bit jittery from David Seaman. It looked as though he could have let the ball run into his area. Winterberg, Bergkamp. Anelka just a bit tight in there with Ljungberg coming in and dragging defenders in to the centre, extra defenders. Ljungberg again, Bergkamp. Anelka, pressure on him by Peacock. Blackburn with plenty of belief now. Peti. Offside.
Great call again though, isn't it? Tell you what, it's one thing not many people give Emmanuel Peti credit for, or enough credit in my opinion. His ability to do this. It's that left foot and he just chips it. I mean, that's close, that is. I mean, I think those are the ones that I think we've wanted to go, but yet again he's given offside. But to me, the admiration's all in that little chip through ball with the left foot.
Well, the match still very much alive here, but to remind you that you decide the man of the match. 0660 11 22 33. Bold happy to clear it, but it was another piece of play that encouraged the Blackburn fans.
Well, it was a ball played into the centre midfield, much like Blackburn did to Billy McKinley when they lost the opening goal. Vieira was close quickly there, lost possession, but they got the numbers back and managed to stop a shot on goal.
More show. Peacock. Sutton touching it on well. Good reaction by Davis because he got there as Bold lunged and Blackburn get a free kick.
Well, it's in an area to hit. No doubt about that. It's whether they get someone who feels confident. I can only imagine if Sutton's there, he's hitting this, Mark, you wouldn't take the goal scorer out.
He's hit it, but the referee's not ready and he'll get another chance. He's probably quite pleased about since it went straight at David Seaman.
Very pleased about it. Poor free kick. Tim Sheldon was saying, right, come on now, that was your sighter. Provide a better one now. Wall will have to go back a couple of yards. It's a lot longer run up from Sutton. Sherwood's there. Oh, he's booking someone, is this at Vieira? He's pulled someone out the wall.
Presumably for not going back far enough. And Martin Keown acting as the peace corps.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Get your hand over his mouth and Before he talks himself into a second yellow card.
Certainly knows enough English to do that. It is Sutton again, and it's David Seaman again, with a little more difficulty this time.
Well, this save's just about concentration, because it's at the goalkeeper. It's get your body behind it. You can see he has a good look at it. Just make sure you control it, don't fumble it. That's what he did.
Big last 30 minutes or so for both these clubs. They mean so much to Arsenal to get the away win that they would feel that they deserved for their play for the majority of the game. But Blackburn's response has been a credit to Roy Hodgson, who had his usual difficulty this season sorting out the fit from the injured. To get a team out today, Sutton not fully fit. I don't think Sherwood was at the start as well. Maybe McKinley likewise. Kenner, Sutton. This is Davis. Good impromptu try as the ball rolled invitingly towards him.
This is unlucky, you know, this ball in, and then Sherwood's run and Sutton's little flick. If he doesn't hit his own foot with it, then Sherwood might well have been through. That again is a good strike, but again it's about concentration for the England goalkeeper. Keep your eye on it and don't fumble it.
Surely, for all their professionalism, it will go through Arsenal minds of the problems they've had late in so many games this season. They'd love to restore the 2-goal cushion, and Anelka has a chance to do that. Not the easiest of chances from that angle, but it's not one that he's taken.
Well, his first touch let him down just a touch. This is lovely play from Ljungberg. Takes Peacock totally out of it. He doesn't quite get it into his stride early enough. It's a little bit wide. He does like the inside right channel, but that's just too much of an angle.
Kenner. And misjudged by Keown. Davis!
No. Free kick, Martin.
A foul by Davis on Martin Keown, and the goal doesn't stand.
Well, he must think, when is my luck going to change? It's quiet, he's calm there, but I'll tell you what, there's a bit of shoving and pushing. It looks like Davis is through first of all, and I'm not so sure he did anything wrong or an awful lot. Look at Martin's left hand, they're both tugging away at each other, they're both having a battle, but then when he comes the other side of him, I don't think Davis does anything wrong. I can't believe that's been disallowed. What a finish, son. It's just a pity it's meant nothing.
Bergkamp. Arsenal had a chance to rub salt in the Blackburn wounds there, but opened up again with that disallowed goal. It's rather typical for Kevin Davis this year and typical for Blackburn this season. Concerned about time being used up unfairly here as Winterburn waits to take the throw. I've been here at games, he's hardly raised an eyebrow, Roy Hodgson, but he's a different figure these days, and maybe he needs just to show that animation to get the right vibes through to the players. Well, Dermot Gallagher had this view that goal that he disallowed.
You can see them both there. There's a tangle there. How do you distinguish, Martin, between what's going on there? In the end, Martin stumbled over Martin Keown. Kevin Davis has taken advantage of that. I think that's a pretty harsh decision on the home side.
He's looked sharp, Kevin Davis, given that he's missed the football recently, and that will be, whatever the outcome here, will be a bonus for Blackburn. Again, looking for that Anelka dagger into the heart of Blackburn from Bergkamp's pass. Sherwood, just too much for Sutton. He apologises, the captain. Well, it's been an excellent contest at Ewood Park. And it's going to go right to the wire, you feel.
That was a chance, wasn't it? Tim Sherwood, he knows it. He looks disappointed that he had a chance to play Damien Duff in. I said don't go away. This will be a good second half. It hasn't disappointed.
Peacock. It's been no hit and miss affair in difficult weather. Apart from one particularly nasty incident, it's been played in the best sort of spirit. Kenner with backs of spirit for Blackburn. What the youngsters making Mark Overmars do. Track right back. Arsenal needing all their great competitive spirit, and it's surfacing again with Nicholas Anelka. This could settle it.
What a save, son. What a save, Tim Flowers. That has just kept his side in this match. Well, there's boos from the crowd. Whether they think he didn't get a touch, I thought he did. He's played it in, he has definite touch. This is a wonderful save from the keeper. Look at him staying on his feet, not going to ground early. Oh, what a save, son. Top quality.
Arsenal have a corner. Manu Peti to take it. Johnson, well read by Winterburn. Now Bergkamp. You still feel this could go either way, even though Arsenal continue to threaten on the break. So great backing for Blackburn from supporters who've braved the elements to be here. This shows, as we've always said, Andy, there's nothing like being at a game. We try to bring you the next best thing, but there's a thrilling atmosphere at Ewood Park. Davis. Arsenal all hot and bothered. Corner for Blackburn.
Well, Kevin Davis, you're absolutely right, Martin. It's given a glimpse to these Blackburn fans just why Roy Hodgson paid as much money for him in this second half. This is as bright and as lively and as threatening that Kevin Davis has been in a Blackburn shirt, I think.
Sutton, Sherwood and Peacock poised to make a run. Davis right in by the goalkeeper. Ahead of Keown pretty solidly. Arsenal can move out. He's having to keep the defensive shape for his side, but whether they work the touchline, the more threatening the throw, the longer version of the throw could become. Best Jeff Kenner. It's a corner, so Blackburn playing the percentages there. Chris Sutton got a bang on the head. Remember, Arsenal 2 goals up at half-time. Blackburn have made this second half far from a formality. 0660 11 22 33. Let us know your view on the man of the match. Not too much sympathy from the Arsenal fans. I mentioned at the start that incident at Highbury when Sutton didn't obey the supposed etiquette when the ball's put out for an injured player. It's Sutton who's injured here. And that's been the story of Roy Hodgson's season. One casualty after another. Apologise if you feel we've laboured that point, but it's certainly the underlying theme at Ewood Park this season. The manager hasn't had the team that he would want to put out on the pitch. His first choice 11 available. Kevin Gallagher, who's so often playing when Blackburn win, has missed a lot of the game. He's got a broken arm, of course. Sutton trying to show that his head had cleared by flicking that on. Overmars right from the perimeter of the pitch. I know they're supposed to develop their outfield skills, the goalkeepers these days, but that was almost taking it a stride too far.
Oh dear. Words like water out and fish come to mind, but not necessarily in that order when Tim was out there.
And he got away with it. Blackburn pulled it back to 2-1 and had what they thought was a perfectly good goal disallowed as well. Peti.
It isn't easy against Arsenal, Mark, when they get 2 goals up. I think it's about 14 months since they last conceded a 2-goal lead. We're at Leicester, so it's not an easy thing to do, and I think they've, well, not for the first time this season do I hear myself saying, I feel a little bit unlucky for Blackburn.
Overmars wasn't expecting that. Davis linking up with Chris Sutton. Well again, slightly mistimed the challenge by Peti. Free kick to Blackburn. 90-second plus stoppage time to go. Blackburn players initially moved away from the ball, so Jeff Kennett summoned up to flip it towards Sutton. Batted away by Bold effectively for Arsenal. Bold is there again. Came off Keown.
I'll tell you what, you're right there, Mark, and that's quite a bit of stoppage time. And when you think of what's going on second half, with injuries to Sherwood, Vieira, then Vieira again, wouldn't surprise me if we're talking 4 or 5 minutes of stoppage time in this match.
And the one for Chris Sutton just now.
Yeah.
Show getting the better of Winterburn. Kennett. 5 minutes of stoppage time to be played.
Well, I tell you, he's been booked, you know, Chris Sutton. At least I think he has. He's off. Right.
Roy Hodgson has to take it on the chin again in stoppage time here. Was that a straight red card?
Well, a straight red card came out, man. I didn't see the yellow. I mean, he was going anyway, wasn't he? Having been booked. It's Vieira again, isn't it? That's a bookable offence. He's gone straight off. I didn't see anything other than red come out. Well, maybe I'm not surprised. We'll see it again.
Of course, just to make the distinction between the 2 bookable offences equaling 2 yellows equaling red, and the showing of a red on its own is of course going to affect the length of suspension.
Well, as you say, he was heading for a suspension anyway, wasn't he, with his first yellow card? And I didn't see the yellow come out.
Show. On show again. Cut out by Ljungberg. Anelka waiting for the cross that's not delivered to Arsenal's liking. confirmation from the fourth official, Alan Wilkie. It was, as we thought, Andy, a straight red card for a violent challenge on Patrick Vieira by Chris Sutton. He's got good contact on that clearance, David Seaman. Hasn't always been the case this afternoon. Peti. Bergkamp. Dixon. Blackburn now will be getting the ball.
It's been a pretty good game for the neutral to watch, Martin. I've certainly enjoyed it. Plenty happening in this match. There might be time for something else to happen still. Still over 2.5 minutes to go.
Kevin Davis was coming back as the ball was played to him. Phil Joslin flagged him offside. Point out, we talked about the size of the transfer fee, Kevin Davis, but of course 2 players went in the opposite direction, Stuart Ripley and James Beattie. And that's a similar situation to the Davis episode in the other half of the pitch. Anelka coming back towards the ball as it was played. He's offside. Blackburn with a chance to get it forward. Still a couple of minutes to go. Anelka might be in trouble for not retreating quickly here. Forward by Peacock. Davis trying to get underneath it. Keown is there for Arsenal. Overmars. Peacock, well, he's come up trumps in the end. I knew where Anelka was, but I don't think he was so sure about Bergkamp's arrival on the scene. Davidson. Been a fighting performance by Blackburn in the second half. The aggression on a couple of occasions misplaced. But it doesn't look as though it's going to be enough. Bergkamp. Overmars. Running down the clock. Arsenal now within the laws of the game. Winterburn. Overmars, but he's let it slip. Not for the first time today, it must be said. Well, Arsenal get their first away win since April. Not as easy as it might have been. Roy Hodgson sees his side go down again. Arsenal scored twice in the first half, Anelka and Peti, but it was a battling Blackburn performance in the second. It looked a tall order after what happened in the first 45 minutes. A high-quality goal by Anelka, a rather fortunate free kick, given the deflection for Peti. But then Damian Johnson put life into the game, and Blackburn were very much back in it. They thought they'd equalised here, but Kevin Davis' effort ruled out by Dermot Gallagher, who then sent off Chris Sutton for launching himself at Patrick Vieira. That straight red card. Blackburn still some way short of their strongest side, they can say, but 8 points from their opening 10 games, way below expectations. But Arsenal tucked in there in third place now, and although it's not been a scintillating start to the defence of their title, they certainly will be seen as a threat by those other teams around the top positions in the table. The final score, and it's been a most engrossing contest here at Ewood Park. It's finished Blackburn Rovers 1, Arsenal 2.
Powerful.